when just before we moved, the year before, we moved in 1968, and the year before, in 1967, we were thinking of moving, so we came out and we happened to wind up in Stony Brook, and I found a house that I liked, but I couldn't buy it because I was attending school in Brooklyn. So we decided to move the following year when my lease in the apartment was up and all. When we came out in early 68, the expressway ended at 61, and we got on to trying to find this house in Stony Brook, and we wound up getting onto Mooney Pond Road, and we couldn't get off because there were no exits until Mooney Pond Road in Ronkonkoma or Farmingville, and the next exit was in Coram, where there was a horse farm. But on the way, going through Mooney Pond Road, we found a development, and there were 3 houses, and we got out and we said, let's look. And I loved my house, and I bought it. Didn't know whatever was around, but I bought my house, and I've loved it ever since. And we're there 50 years. But now it's very congested. I'm sorry I didn't take pictures of the area before we moved. Before it became congested, because it was really rural. And I could get around in 5 minutes, really, from going all over the place. There wasn't too much to go over. We didn't have Route 63. It didn't have, the expressway didn't go beyond 61. There weren't any major highways, except for Middle Country Road was a highway, but that was really pretty good to travel on then, not now. Now it's too congested.
What is something you like more about Long Island?
I just like living in Long Island. It's really very, very nice. I love my house. I love my dogs, and I'm able to have my dogs in my house, not in the city. It was very difficult. And I'm really very, very happy here. And I can communicate wherever I want. If I want to go back into the city, which I don't usually go. I went back to my old neighborhood 2 years ago because I was yearning to go and see what was doing where I grew up. And it changed so that I says, that's it, no more. So I'm very happy here. Children, yes.
What was it like raising them in an area that was basically rural? And
to tell you the truth, I feel God led me to my house, because in 1968 my oldest daughter was 5. She needed special classes, and when I went to enroll her in Bicycle Path, because there was no New Lane at the time, I was told that they had special classes. Middle Country School District had classes for all kinds of children. This was unbelievable, because in the city, if I had stayed in Brooklyn, I could not get services for her, not unless I paid a fortune, and we didn't have any money. So I was fortunate enough to have her enrolled in special classes, and she stayed there her entire school year, school time. This is my older daughter. My middle daughter, she did very well. She got transported with a bus. It was very well. And my son is the baby. Well, it's not the baby anymore, but it was wonderful here. And I had services here that I did not have in Brooklyn. We never got bused. I was going to say, you kids would be very, very disillusioned if you had to grow up in my generation, because we had no cell phones, we had no computers, we had one telephone in the house, and it was a dial. I had no TV. We played outside. We had no air conditioning. I mean, you might consider, boy, where did you come from? But these were the 50s. It was not the 40s and the 50s is when I grew up. And we had a wonderful time. I walked to school all the time. In fact, when I went to high school, I had to take 2 trains and walk because there was no bus service. And we didn't think anything of it. And we didn't have all the days off that you guys have. You're lucky. You have a lot of time off. And we only had Easter vacation and Christmas vacation, and that was it. And a few days in between, we had Lincoln's birthday, Washington's birthday, Columbus Day, and Thanksgiving. Those were our days off. And then at the end of May, we had we had Memorial Day, and it was always on the date, not on a Monday. We didn't have like 3-day weekends. And also, girls couldn't wear pants. They had to wear skirts or dresses. And when it was nasty, and we had very nasty weather, we had bad winters and very hot summers, we had to walk in with and it was also a very sexist society. Girls were expected to do girl stuff, and boys were expected to do boy stuff. So we didn't know different. Now I'm looking back and I'm saying, wow. Because I was a tomboy. I played with the guys. I played punch ball. I played stick ball. I played the tickets, with the baseball cards, flipping. Oh, anybody here Yankee fans? I had a Mickey Mantle card. My mother threw them all out, but I had a Mickey Mantle card. I had a Jackie Robinson card. I was a hot Brooklyn Dodger fan, and I used to go to Ebbets Field. So it was really, really nice. I had a good childhood. We didn't have much money, but I had a good childhood. And growing up, it was good. And when I got married and had my children, we struggled a little, but we managed. And it's just to be healthy. That's the most important thing, because now I suffer from a lot of medical problems, so it's very nice to be healthy. But other than that, I'm very happy.